Colin, wake up!
Dagnabbit, damn it! I'm gonna lay you out!
You've got to get out of here. Your dad is gone, and my father's men are looking for you.
Alrighty then.
Okay, I'll try to meet you at the exit. Watch out for security.
Why don't y'all get
Good luck.
along before one of you gets hurt?
I'll meet you at the vault door if I can. But don't wait for me.
There he is, holding right there.
One massacred vault later.
Good, you're leaving. I guess you were trying to help me, but you didn't have to kill
Sorry,
him!
ma'am.
You'd better get out of here before I change my mind and call the guards.
Ah, hell.
One thing I love about Team Fortress 2 is all the unconventional and unique ways the mercenaries find to off each other. Whether they're using traditional guns or melee weapons, the one thing I love the most is the sillier things they use to off each other, like for example a fish or mailbox. You know, TF2 actually does have a unique balancing system, like how the weapons in this game are balanced on a range of one of two things. On one end of the spectrum, you have weapons that trade all of their damage for utility, like the sandwich or the banners. While on the other end, you have most stock weapons or any weapons that give you a boost in damage. However, what would happen if you tried to get 1,000 kills with one of these utility weapons? Meet the Rescue Ranger. It's right around here on the utility to damage spectrum, trading off a ton of damage and personal defense for a huge boost to supporting your sentry gun. It is quite possibly one of the closest weapons to being pure utility, but still allowing you to defend yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the stats listed on the weapon. If you right click, you can use 100 metal to pick up your buildings from a long range. It fires a projectile that can repair friendly buildings. But its downsides are minus 34% clip size, meaning that your clip only has 4 bullets in it, minus 50% max primary ammo on wearer. That means instead of the 32 reserve ammo, you only have 16, self-marked for death while holding buildings, and a 4-to-1 health metal ratio when repairing buildings. Now, what is not listed is it does 20% less damage at 100% ramp up. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why the heck I'm styling this video after Fallout 3. Well, like my other two 1000 kills challenge videos, I try and stick with a theme during the videos. If you haven't watched my 1000 kills with the Fist of the Enforcer, please go watch them now to get a better idea of themes I'll talk about later in this video. Links below. But why a BB gun in particular? Well,
I am equipped with a BB gun.
yeah, it all kind of stems from being inspired by this one Uncle Dane clip. I'm sorry. A few rules I laid out for myself was this. No sentry guns. I wanted to have all of my damage come from my Rescue Ranger itself, so I abstained from building sentries. I did, however, build dispensers and teleporters, because I need to be helpful. Another rule, as usual, is I tried my darndest to stick only to Valve servers. If there were any bot matches... wait! Legit, a few days before this challenge started was the day Valve rolled out those massive bot ban waves. So... I can't do the usual joke about using RTD. I wonder what other joke I could use instead. I don't know. I had this weird thing on day 1 where I didn't build teleporters. I quickly overruled that. Also, while yes, I do have a pistol equipped, I only ever pulled it out in cases where my life depended on it, or to defuse sticky bombs. After realizing I looked better in that party hat, I got my first 10 kills. I really want to say I got them quickly, but it took me about 20 minutes just to get 10 kills. The Rescue Ranger projectile flies through the air at the same speed of the Crusader's crossbow, meaning it flies twice as fast as a regular rocket. This is a big learning curve. As you can see here, I whipped a ton of shots on this scout, but thankfully he does too. A trick I learned from this fight that helped me out a lot later was watching the movement of the enemy, and letting them walk into my projectile. Imagine like you're playing Guitar Hero and watching the marker hit the bar. The Rescue Ranger also has the same attribute the Huntsman does, where if you kill someone close enough to the wall, they get pinned to it. don't take that out of context. Also, man, hearing that meaty crunch noise is so good. It sucks when your hit sound plays over it too, which is why Spy was one of the more fun classes to hunt down. Since I couldn't build sentry guns, I still felt the need to upgrade others. I see it as me repairing the turrets like a ball.
Medic, wait, medic, no, wait, come back, medic, please. I need to talk to you. You have the number 2 on your keyboard. Can you press it for me? It's okay if you can't, I understand. Oh God!
He did it! Sadly, for whatever reason, halfway during the day, my audio glitched out, and it was like slightly delayed, so I had to cut a few of them out. The ones you see without audio later in the video probably also has messed up audio. However, by the end of day 1, I got to 102 kills. Just like in my Enforcer video, I will keep a rough timestamp of how many hours I played in one day. On day 1, I played for about 5 hours.
How can you not like Little Peanut? I love this little guy. You took the people. What?
While I do fully believe random crits should be removed from Team Fortress 2, it still feels really awesome to get a crit. And sometimes a crit is what I need to get kills with some of these crummier weapons. The Rescue Ranger was surprisingly good at taking out buildings. If you don't know, buildings don't really have fall off, and so you can stand as far away from them and still do the max amount of damage. Since it does a solid 40 damage from longer ranges, you can find a good angle and just spam out some guns, or dispensers, or teleporters. It works better if someone walks in front of you while you're doing it. Day 2 began with me joining a Nucleus server. I'm surprisingly got Uber for some reason at this point. And of course, since it's Nucleus, you gotta have a classic Nucleus moment.
Oh, classic Nucleus moment right here.
One thing too about the Rescue Ranger is that it does decent damage from longer ranges, so you can get a few kills here and there. However, in this clip, it feels like I'm more so shaking my fist at this heavy Empire rather than contributing to the fight. I soon found my way onto a Mountain Lab server, and can I just say I really like Mountain Lab? It's genuinely one of my favorite maps, and I really can't explain why. Anyway, one thing that is always baller to get are air shots. I'm gonna dump a few gunshot pride clips here, and what are you gonna do about it? I know, yes, this medic is 3 feet off the ground, but come on, give me some credit. And yes, I know I missed this soldier twice before I actually got him, but it's my video and I decide how it goes. And you know what, sometimes sacrificing yourself for that medpick can be worth it. Speaking of medpicks, here's the list of targets or hierarchy. This time around it felt like a list of targets were kill them before they notice you, 50-50, and kill them before they kill you. And kill them before they notice you, they're Scout, Pyro, Medic, and Sniper. I feel a little weird putting Scout here, but you'd be surprised at how well you can kill a Scout with the Ranger. Since they want to be up close to you, you can wind up doing about 50 to 60 damage per bolt up close. And landing 3 bullets on a target that close is easier than you think. Pyros are here mainly because they can do a ton of damage to you super fast, but again, they are in that close-up range that if you hit your first shots right, you can kill them. Also, a lot of Pyros don't know you can reflect the Rescue Ranger bolts unless they're super pro at the game, and even then, I was never once hit by a reflected bolt. This was one of the few clips I found where a Pyro attempted to reflect my bolt back at me. Medic is here due to him being such a high value target. It's not so much that you want to be noticed by the medic, it's more so you don't want to be noticed by who he is healing. Finally, Sniper is here because, well, if he notices you, boom, you're dead. So getting in 2 shots before he realizes typically works well. In 50-50s, there's NGs, Spies, and Demo Knights. NG's here because, well, as usual, if he's alone, you can clean house with him. But if he's surrounded by his nest, well, good luck, pal. Spy's here because he just kind of gets you. You can be as active and as paranoid as possible, but he will still slip in and kill you. However, sometimes that paranoia can work out. I finally have decided to split Demo Knight away from the regular Demo Man since she is such a different, like, off class. The Demo Knight is in this group mainly because of how close he wants to be. Of course, you know, he can just kill you. Or if you don't know, if they're using the Tide Turner, doing a solid amount of damage stops them in their tracks, causing them to stumble towards you, securing a kill. And kill them before they kill you is Soldier, Regular, Demo, and Heavy. All of these classes can deal way more damage to you before you can quickly kill them. Since you only do around 200 damage per clip, you will have to spend time reloading your gun before you can finish them off. So the trick to these guys is you want to pick them off if they're retreating. Soldiers are beefy dudes, mobile, and a lot harder to hit than other classes. However, if they're rocket jumping around a lot, they usually aren't at full health. If you play your cards right, you can pick them off if they're retreating to a health kit. Demos are here mainly due to how fast they can tear you apart. 2 clean direct hits with their pipes and you're toast. Heavies are here because, well, of literally everything I just said except the worst. He has more health, he's not as mobile, but he can destroy you faster than Pyros and Demos and anyone else if you're that close to him. Sometimes you can get them if they're playing really passively, and again, kill them before they notice you. Okay, so now that that's over with, I'm gonna just kind of like let this clip play out. I love Team Fortress 2 so much because in no other game can this happen in the span of 20 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna go on a side tangent here. Can someone please explain to me why Venice is like such a labyrinth on its last point? I know looking at the map itself from this bird's eye view doesn't help that much, but if you look at how spacious some of these rooms are and how long you have to walk to get around the flank, it just doesn't make any sense. It's too big. I did manage to get this funny clip. I know I spent most of day 2 talking about the list of dudes, but a lot of the clips here had me, well, just killing people. Like, nothing really funny happened besides what I've shown, but for the most part, there really wasn't much to talk about. However, I will say some of these clips might appear in other days. By the end of day 2, I got a solid 292 kills on my BB gun. It took me about 7 hours of on and off gaming to get there. I'm now at 12 hours. I think at this point the monotony was really starting to kick in. This challenge isn't like the Enforcer video, because at least you could cloak away and live to see another day and usually pick off a couple people. Nor is it as exciting as going on a rampage like in the Fist video. No, instead it's get a kill, die, get a few kills, die, or get 0 kills and die a lot. It really began to set in what I had signed up for, but I wouldn't let that get me down. One thing I found interesting was water. I managed to get into CTF well a few times, and that massive water pool in front of both spawns hampered other classes moving enough that you can line up shots way easier. However, since I was on well... Sticking to the flanks and picking off people one-on-one is very important. The engineer has a special tool that allows him to do this easily if you flank behind them once. Basically what I'm saying is that ninjaneering is extremely viable. Sometimes it feels like TF2 players are so unaware. Like, look at this teleporter. It's in clear sight, but no one does anything about it.
This thing doesn't see it. What?
I say all of this because sometimes you get into a super pro rescue ranger one-on-one NG fights. Here's a perfect example of what I mean by TF2 players just not really paying attention to you. The maps that are good for flanking are mainly payload maps or CTF maps. The ones where you can hide teleporters far behind enemy lines and teleport to it whenever you want. I found that Double Cross and Well were great choices.
We interrupt this program for a public service announcement.
Did you know that if you have a lot of people wanting to teleport, but your teleporter is only level 1, you can pick up your teleporter and place it back down to speed up the teleporting process? It takes 3.8 seconds to redeploy your building while range boosting.
That way you can get all your pals to the front lines ASAP.
One thing about this day in particular as well, a ton of funny things just happened unlike yesterday. Like, I'm having a barrel of laughs here, or trolling this other NG, or seeing this NG get flung into the stratosphere. I just seem to really enjoy messing with NGs, apparently. I did manage to sweet talk my way into having this medic use his crits on me.
No, medic, no, medic, follow me, come on, don't be funny, come on, do me. Charge it. See? I can go big.
Which leads me to my next point, kill streaks. One thing you might have noticed is, well, I did get a lot. Again, in this challenge, you die super easily. So, I managed to get like 2 to 4 kills per life if I was lucky. After getting a handful more kills, I got this kill here. I always feel bad when something like this happens. However, I don't feel bad when I manage to 180 delete someone. I will say that during this challenge, there was a ton of Demo Knights roaming around. Like, in my 13 years of playing Team Fortress 2, I don't think I've ever seen this many Demo Knights charging about. However, if you do find yourself getting close to one or about to die, real quick hit your kill bind so they don't get any benefits. I know that's a little cheap, but I don't care. Again, spy scouts want to be up close and personal to you, so that allows you to get high damage bolts off on them, allowing you to get them in 2 shots if they're already hurt. If you don't know, I really like using the rock, paper, scissors taunt. It's kind of one of those, like, my hands are in the air, I can't win this fight, but I'm going to gamble and hope you take the bait. And if you don't know, if you win a game with rock, paper, scissors, it technically counts as you getting a kill on whatever item you have out. I actually used it in this challenge as a last resort, like I was just saying. Like, if I was low on ammo, or the other person had an upper hand on me, so as a last-ditch effort, I hit the taunt, leaving my fate up to chance. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you can get like 5 in a row and your odds are really good. Another thing that is really funny about rock, paper, scissors is that when other people see you do it, they get in line to try and beat you, which typically leads to you getting another handful of kills. This is the one time someone refused to rock, paper, scissors me, but thanks to his call out, I managed to get the upper hand. It might be a little cheap, but goading a spy into trying to kill you is a great way to secure a kill. The biggest downside to this utility weapon is the lack of ammo you have. Like, sure, the projectile does piss all for damage, and that doesn't help, but combining that with only 20 shots in your gun makes you run out of ammo fast. So I had to find different ways on getting ammo. This downside usually isn't a problem since you're sitting right next to a dispenser. After a very long day 3, I managed to walk away with 501 kills. 8.5 hours in one day killing all these dudes. That means I'm at 20.5 hours. Already I'm halfway there, but...
The pulse charge is real.
Heck yes! Y'all ready?
Get along there, little doggies.
Victory.
Winning's like science, boys. If you want a steak, you gotta prove it.
So, real funny story. So the day after day 3 of the challenge, I had to go to Boston, Massachusetts for work reasons. I left for about 12 days, so technically this is day 15? I don't know, but here's some pictures of Boston I took. However, during my leave was when the summer update dropped. I played on a few of the maps before restarting my challenge, and as a very quick opinion piece on them all, Applejack is a quaint little map. I could totally see this being run on like a 24/7 DM map. Atom Smash is just Monster Bash but all year round. I don't mind player destruction all that much, but when a team is stacked, it's not fun at all. Burgerskarsken, I guess, is a fun map. I was thrilled to see a multi-stage medieval mode map, but it feels a little too easy when there's just one cap on each point. I feel like if each one was like really easily 2 caps, it would be a little better, but I don't know. Cacohiera, whatever, is fine. But I do like the helicopter being a kill zone. Canaveral it's alright. I really dislike 5 CP maps, and this one feels like a cheap Sunshine. It's very pleasing to look at, but the last is a bit hard to push. Hoedown is just a worse Steel. Steel is, unironically, in like my top 5 maps of TF2, but I feel like this one is just too cramped, and it relies on too much like weird corners and stairways. It doesn't quite work out. Megaton is really nice, but really rough. It's probably because my PC is so old, it struggles to load everything in at once. But it being so open is a sniper's playground. Odyssey has potential in my opinion, but there's a lot holding it back. The first point is super spammable as red. The first spawn room is very easily campable, and it's a slog to get the first few points captured since red's spawn is so close. Overgrown is fun, it's quaint, it's nice. I've actually had the chance to play on it with UEAK Crash multiple times before on some of his Friday night map tests. And finally, Embargo. I saved this one for last because, well, in my opinion, it's a little too much. Like, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, don't crucify me for this, but it feels like it's trying a little too hard to be the next Badwater or Upward, and it fumbles itself in the process. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and it's a very pretty map. It's just a lot of things are holding it back, like the first point is super easy to rush out as blue. There's not really that much open space, and it's very cramped and everything I've said before, and it's just trying way too hard to be like too cool. Don't get me wrong, it's really nice that they're like pushing the limits of the hammer editor, but I just don't like it. I don't see myself ever really replaying it. Yeah, anyway, with day 4, upon returning from Boston, I really struggled to get the, juices flowing again. It was such a slog, spawning in, getting a kill, dying, spawning, getting a kill, dying, like over and over again. Sometimes I'd get a few kills, sometimes I died 10 times without getting a single kill. Like, I was so drained on the day I got back, I wound up doing the Operation Osmium Ordnance in VM Tour. This forklift is not parked properly. The tongs should be all the way to the ground. You could trip and fall and break your ankle, like that. That being said, I still have some things to talk about. Like times where I both kill and die at the same time. Since the Rescue Ranger's a projectile, you can kill people posthumously. So there was a good handful of times where someone got me, but I got them. Anyway, I continued to slowly but surely tack away at the challenge. This drop down into the water on well is only one way, so you can usually get people trapped in and kill them. Oh! This actually leads me into getting my highest kill streak of the entire challenge. I'm not kidding when I say that either. This was like the only time I ever got 10 kills in one life. My reaction is appropriate.
Yes! Yes! I got 10! I got 10!
I always feel really bad whenever I kill newer players. Like, they're so innocent and trying their best. Like, in this clip, I thought I was about to fight a super pro heavy, and I thought he was chasing me, but when I saw him pull out his sandwich, I genuinely felt bad. Even he looks sad. That being said, some free-to-plays can provide the funniest moments I've ever had in this game, even if it's accidental.
I feel like Pablo when I'm working on my show.
Are you freaking kidding me, dude? What is the chance of getting auto-balanced? Throughout this entire challenge, I got auto-balanced a few times, which always baffles me because I usually am like at the lower part of the scoreboard. However, I don't let that get me down. I took a break halfway during the day, and for whatever reason, upon letting back in, it caused the audio to be misrecorded. Again. I still got plenty to talk about though, like, since you do so little damage, I find that people more often than not would just steal my kills. I would do around 100 or so damage, and someone would just sweep right in and nab my kill. However, the reverse is also true. Sometimes I'd have to force myself to slow down and let my teammates weaken and soften up foes before swooping in and nabbing the kill myself. I do want to say that this kill was 100% BS. I think this is the one time I was top scoring, but that was mostly because of the round length and I got a ton of teleports. Okay, slight tangent here, but I think the Dead Ringer sucks. Most spies don't use it as a, oh, I'm feigning my death here so I can sneak behind you, like how it's supposed to be used. Nowadays, most people use it as an on-demand speed boost to get their trick stab kunai combos in. However, it is very satisfying to read one of these Dead Ringer abusers. Oh yeah, and when one of these like power level 5000 spies try to do their tricky little stair stabs on you, shove your back into a corner and look up, or retreat a little further down the stairs.
We interrupt this program for a public service announcement. Don't stand under this door when the first point is captured on Mercenary Park. It could give you a real headache if you know what I'm saying.
However, after quite possibly the longest play session I had in recent memory, I got all the way to 692 kills after 10 hours of playing. Of course, I took breaks and stretched to get water and eat and all that stuff. The overall time now is 30.5 hours.
I'm in here to ask a very simple favor. Would you please kill me?
Going into day 5, I really thought that if I pushed myself, I could get to the 800 or even 900 kill marker, since my kills to time ratio was a bit lacking. So I really sat forward in my gaming chair, had my gamer glasses on, and went killing. That's all the joke, by the way. I just had a 3-day weekend off work since I got back from Boston, so I figured I'd use my time appropriately. I mentioned this earlier when it comes to destroying buildings, but as it turns out, you can pick off people from long ranges with this gun. Since it does 21 damage at max fall-off, it outdamages your pistol and other shotguns from that range, allowing you to pick someone off from super far away ranges. I found it is helpful to just spam and hope to get some free kills down alleyways. I could say some witty stuff about spies failing the trick stabs, but I'm just going to point and laugh and hope you laugh along as well. As my day went on, my mentality started to tank. I tried to do more sillier strats to keep my sanity somewhat intact, as this genuinely was the lowest point I felt in this challenge. I genuinely thought of ending the challenge at this point, mainly due to how just impossible it felt. But the silliness kept me going. I'm not kidding when I say this, but I had a headache while playing. I'm sure you could say playing for 10 hours the previous day doesn't help, but also I found myself in super unbalanced matches. So I was much more open to leaving the matches if it suited the mood.
Oh my god, this is becoming a slog.
It was at this point I decided to do something unprecedented. That's right, I got a friend. I asked my friend if he could pocket me, and man, it felt so much better. Like, all at once, I felt like I was getting a lot more kills, and it just felt a lot better to have, like, someone pocketing me. Like, the amount of health and damage I could do really revitalized my efforts with this challenge. I usually wouldn't rely on pockets to get me kills, but man, the draining effect this had on me caused me to do that. I had to take a break after getting my pocket medic, because I had been playing for about 5 hours straight at that point. So once I got back, he had to dip out. That didn't stop me from going monkey mode.
Ooh! 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 Aww.
I gotta love it when people don't listen to you, though. Am I right, gamers?
Don't take teleporter. Don't take my teleporter. Do not take the teleporter. Stop upgrading it. You are going to die. I told you.
By the end of the day, I was really focusing on engineering to get my kills. However, this usually gets people angry at you.
Oh my god!
Or I turn into Stewie Griffin.
Snippets, good job, mate. Wanna go hungry?
Thankfully, with the help of my pocket medic and really focusing up, I managed to get all the way to 868 kills by the end of day 5. It took me about 7 hours of on and off gaming here. That means I'm at 37.5 hours. I knew going into day 6 it would be my final day.
Thanks for coming to the premiere of my new film, everyone.
Oral, I hope that's not one of my clean sheets you're using.
Nope, I took it off Dad's bed.
What?
Going into today, I knew I would get everything wrapped up. The very first death of the very first game says otherwise. And this happened not long after. However, my spirits were high as I trucked along, getting a funny moment here or there. Also, pro tip, when a ninja pulls out his Wrangler, try your best to get around him and shoot him, not the sentry gun. Of course, run away as soon as you get him. Also, using respawn cameras are a great tool to use.
Uh-oh.
Fun fact, when you use the Pip-Boy cosmetic item, it changes your PDA HUD icons. I guess I never clicked that it also changes the Eureka effect HUD as well. You know, I could go on and on about this and that, but truthfully, I think a really cool kills montage is in order. As the day went on, I got closer and closer to my goal. 973, 988. I knew if I just kept pushing myself to the finish line, it was right there. No matter how upset I got, I kept walking on, leading into this landfall match. I knew I could get the final few kills I needed to be done with this challenge. I got some good long-range kills, some good free-to-play kills, and even outsmarted a spy with a distraction sentry. I'll let these last few kills play out.
Oh.
Oh, that would have been too cool!
Teleporter down!
I don't care. I'm done.
Finally, after another 7 hours of playing, I got to 1,000 kills on a rescue range. In conclusion, out of the 3 videos I've done so far, I highly recommend against doing this one. It was a huge time sink, and it took a lot out of me to even get these kills, let alone write and edit all this together. Near-end editing fits. How's it going? Yeah? Well, let's hope I'm still sane after all this. If you did like this video, please share it around, leave a comment below, like it, and subscribe. See you next time!
I've seen enough. Let's leave.